the hairdresser said, by the way, this woman is coming to New York and giving 3 lectures. So my mother and I, of course, went in to hear these lectures, and Flower used the alignment technique. And at last, I said, here are the stairway to the stars. Here is the way to get to the closeness to God that we want. If we can practice some kind of meditation like she's had discovered for all of us to use, we can learn how to get there ourselves gradually.
I was so filled with joy. It was as if my whole being had been waiting to hear what she had to give to us about the inner worlds, about angels, about our guardian angels, about reincarnation, and the Christ. When I arrived home in the late afternoon, there was a dove flying around in my den. And I thought, could this be confirmation of the truth I had heard from the Reverend Flower Newhouse that afternoon? Could this be a message from the Holy Spirit?
In the home where I was working, there was a piano teacher that taught the children. And I told her that I was planning to go back home to Norway. And she just looked at me stunned. And she said, "You can't. You haven't met Flower yet." And I thought, who's Flower? And this piano teacher said, well, she is someone that sees angels. And that hit me right here. I knew that I had to go and hear a lecture by that lady before I left the United States.
For me, at the time, I was somewhat left brain dominant, and I was entrenched in evidence-based medicine. And so at the beginning, I was a little bit skeptical, but as time wore on, I developed a great appreciation for Flower, especially her clairvoyance, her inner knowledge, her integrity, her gratitude, and she eventually became what I consider a mentor by reintroducing me to the Christ and Christian mysticism and nature.
When I first came to Questhaven, it caused quite a turmoil and upset to all of my extended family members, my parents and brother and sisters and friends. They all thought that I had really gone off the beaten path. And there was all kinds of insinuations and wishing that I would discontinue coming out here. And eventually I actually started considering stopping coming out here and continuing just for the peace of the family of going to church with them. But before I did that, I wrote Flower another note and asked her advice on this. And it's what she wrote to me was, quote, "Can you or anyone afford to remain with something you have outgrown at the expense of your own inspiration and unfoldment?" So needless to say, I took her advice.